Hi guys, welcome on back. Okay, we got another crafty video today. When I bought these at Dollar Tree, I bought these books and they have the face and they got stickers and you put them on. It reminded me of something I did many years ago, and some of you might have done the same thing. I'm going to show this because I have lots of new people. I did not have like sticker books like this. We had coloring books, magazines, stuff like that. We would take them, and back then we really didn't have magnets. When I was young, we would just take the like pictures out of magazines and make paper dolls, stuff like that. Well, then later on, like after my daughter was born and everything, I really started getting into crafts again. And I had found, first of all, I had found this stamp set, which I don't know if you can get anymore. I got these at Wisconsin Craft Mart, which I don't think we have any around anymore. On clearance, there's like maybe 10 different dresses and the girl. They're by Holly Berry House. So they're quite old. They're probably good 20 years old at least, if not older than that. I used to, stamp these out, put them on magnets and make the paper dolls, magnetic. I would cut these off. So I made some in the paper dolls where you just put the tab, but some I made into magnets so that you can just magnetic the dress on her. Well, then I also started taking coloring books and taking like a big snowman out of the coloring book or whatever and put him on a magnet sheet when, we started getting magnet sheets and stuff like that. Put on the back of that and back then I made the faces and stuff on little, paper and stuff like that. And so you can magnet it on. Well, so this is an easy way. Now you don't have to have the sticker book. Take a coloring book like I used to. Take out a picture in there. It doesn't even have to be Christmas, whatever. And make, parts for it. So I did get some pieces already cut out so that we can, you don't want to see me cut everything out, but we're going to basically go over this, what we're going to do. So I'm going to take the gingerbread, I guess. Now this is double-sided. So you're going to lose one of your prints. But in this book, there is 2 gingerbreads. So this gingerbread on the back of this one is this cute little bunny. I didn't want to lose the bunny either. This gingerbread on the back of it is this bird, which isn't as cute to me. So we're going to sacrifice the poor bird. So we're just going to pull this out of here. Okay. Now, this is a really fun little, easy little craft you can do for the little ones. And these are 8 by 10 flexible. I use this brand a lot. And I will link it for you. And show, link that and everything. It's sticky on one side. We are just going to put this little guy down on here. And you could just cut the gingerbread out if you want, but I'm leaving a little bit of background so they can also decorate the background also if they want. But you can just surely do it. I used to make, which I'll explain to you, I used to make little travel sets and stuff like that back in the day, but I used to, we'll go over that towards the end. So I'm just going to take let me bring this camera down just a little bit again so you can kind of see the whole sheet. So I'm just taking the sticky side up, and we're going to lay him down and make sure he's going to be on there, and you're going to see some black yet, but we're going to cut all the excess off. So just lay it down, rub him on, and then I'm going to cut him off. We're going to trim all the excess off and straighten him out and all that stuff. This is my favorite cutting board. I use this. It's the rotary blade from Fiskars. I've had this one for thousands of years. Yes, I'm 1,000 years old. Okay, so I love this one for chipboard. It just, cuts nicely right through chipboard that I use. So I always use this for chipboard. I will use it for stuff like this because I don't want to wreck my good one. So if it gums up the blade, I'll just change the blade. So let's see. That side. Let's start on this side so we can cut it even. So I'm just going to take a little bit off the bottom just to straighten everything and make sure there's no magnet showing, stuff like that. And 1 swipe is all you need, but I'm a 2 swiper because I like to bring my blade back up to the top. Okay, I know I'm weird. Okay, so I can bring this one over Make sure I'm not going to cut his arm off or nothing. Take that end off. And so I got to see where I am up here. Okay, looks like right about there should be good. Try again. There we go. And one more right about there. Just getting all the XX magnet off, stuff like that. And then we have this cute little thing, which will stick. I have a magnetic or a metal door. I don't know, you know, if you have a magnetic door, but this will work on a refrigerator. And I'll tell you at the end how I used to do it years ago. Okay, so this is perfect for, like, if you are a grandparent, you can put this on the refrigerator, whatever, when the grandkids come over and play, or your kids. You can make enough pieces for this to have make a countdown if you want. So you can make a bunch of candy pieces, stuff like that. So I already cut out some of the pieces. We are going to cut out one together. And I don't know if I have a small strip left. Let's see if this one's big enough to cut out something. I have one sheet left, one full sheet. I'll have to reorder some more. Okay, so I'm thinking that scarf is going to be too big. I do have some scarves anyways that I have cut out. Let's just do the gift here. Do the gift. Cut the gift out. Oop, don't put that down this way. We forgot to take the tape off. You guys are yelling at me? Take the backing off, Jean. I did that earlier today too when I was getting ready. Oh my goodness. I almost started cutting and I'm like, where is my brain today? You don't even want to know where my brain goes sometimes. Okay, so we'll cut that out. We don't need to cut. You guys don't need me to watch. You don't need to watch me cut everything out. So that's ready. Let's put him aside and just make sure it's stuck down good. Now I've been using these. You can see there's a very little gummy stuff on there yet, but they're working just fine. I'll clean them after I'm all done with this project. And so all we're going to do, and I kind of hold my on an angle so that I'm getting kind of under there a little bit, but don't worry about it. We're going to, if there's any stickiness showing yet, we're going to take our little embossing powder pack to it. I haven't made my paper dolls and I'm not giving them up. I love those things. I made them quite a bit when I was doing daycare. So I made them for, you know, pretty much all the little girls that came through. The boys, I made the little car things. You know, I made my daughter, of course, a set. I don't know if she still has it in one of her bins or not. She's a pack rat. She is a pack rat. I don't like clutter. She likes to save everything. I grew up, I think I said that in another video, we grew up that my dad was a pack rat. And if he got his way, let me tell you, but she wouldn't have it. That's probably part of what happened, why they divorced. It's like, yeah. She did not like clutter, and I do not like clutter. My husband, when he was alive, he didn't really like clutter. But for some reason, my daughter has to save everything. Okay, then you're going to cut all your pieces out. However many pieces you want. Put my dolls back. As you can see, they've been loved and used a lot. So I should probably try one of the cleaners that they make nowadays, and maybe I can clean it up better. Okay, so, and you can see it sticks. All right, so it's a little sticky, from the edges. If you don't like that, get yourself, which a lot of people will have, your anti-static pad that you use for your embossing and stuff like that, and just take it along the edges. And that'll take away that stickiness. Okay, and then just, of course, I don't have a rag close by. And then just wipe off the powder off of the picture. And then you have a present. So then I'll show you some of the other things that we cut out. So then, now you can put these, what I did, of course, I had this on the refrigerator. And then I took and put the pieces around it on the refrigerator. And then the kids can, when they would come over, they would go ahead and decorate. And it could be a battle sometimes when you have a lot of kids and they're very opinionated and they wanted things decorated the way they wanted it. So you got different hats you can put on. You got the different scarves you can put on. You got a bow, cut out whatever. And it, like I said, if you don't have, whoops, it stuck to my finger. Oh, there's a piece on the back. That's why it wasn't sticking. Okay, and if you don't have, you know, you can go on the computer also and print out free images to make your own. If you're very, you know, you can draw really well, you can draw your own stuff. But, you know, I had coloring books. That's how I worked back in the day. Now, there is little pieces sometimes. If you have little kids, you may not want to use, like, these little buttons. So either go ahead and color on your button. Stay on there. Color on your buttons, or, you know, maybe glue some sequins on, or glue these pieces on, you know, or just stick them right down. You don't have to glue them on because they are stickers. Stick them down because you don't want, you know, you want to make sure this is age appropriate and everything. So you want to make sure that the kids that are going to be using it won't be, you know, getting these pieces. So then you can just, like I said, you can just keep taking. Give him a candy cane in his hand. Got some ornaments we can just use to decorate. Put his little face on him. Oh, for his eyes. So I have a punch. And I'm sure a bunch of you guys have a punch. And I lost my piece that had my eyeball on. Oh no. I lost my other eyeball. It's not here. So sad. Bet you I left it upstairs. Well, it looks like I lost his other eye, guys. So, make sure it's not stuck on the bottom of one of these. Okay, well, I guess we lost his eye. So, I don't know. Let's see if there's another one. Well, anyways, what I did was, this is one of his eyes. I'm sorry, little Gingy. You're not going to have an eye. We'll see if I can find another one. I got to do the thing for that. I don't know what happened to it. All right. Around here. Who knows? So, let's see. They don't have another Gingy eye. Let's see if I can make one of these work. I'll take this off here and this one off for now. I'll probably find it eventually. Get these two off and we'll turn these into gingerbread eyes. Okay, so let me grab this piece of scrap that I have sitting here. And we're going to put those on. Get all these pieces off of here. We don't need all them. And we're going to put these eyeballs on. And we are going to make them more round, like the gingerbread ones. These are more round. So we're just going to, until I can find my other one. So then all I did, if I had a punch that was, you know, the same. Oh my God, look at, guys, it was stuck to the punch. Oh my God. I need to quit crafting, right? Okay, so all I did was, so I got the eyeball on here. Hey, Gingy, we found your eye. You're good. Is put this on. I cut that one from this side. So I got to make sure I'm cutting it the right way as like I did the other one. And just kind of line it in. It doesn't have to be perfect. That way you don't have to go all the way around and cut it. And I'm just going to run it around. And poor Gingy has some eyes now. Now, it also came with little eyebrows and stuff, but they were really tiny. You could just draw those in or just leave them out. He or she does not need to have the eyebrows, stuff like that. So now, let me show you how I packaged these back in the day. I don't have, and you're going to laugh, you would think Jean's got everything in this house, but she didn't. So I'm just going to show this as an example, this envelope here. So you know your letter envelopes, they're like, what are they, like 9 by 12 or something like this. This is a mailing one. We're going to use just as our example. And get back on there. Okay. So we're going to use this as an example. And there, I got it staying, so all the pieces are on there. So what I did back in the day, if like so we could travel with this also, is that, pretend like this is the letter envelope, the 9x12, not the big packaging one, is I would glue this piece to the front. I would just glue this down to the front with the magnet. You need the magnet. And then glue this to the front of the envelope. And then I had another sheet of, so we'll take this one. And I'm not going to use it because it's my last one. But I stuck a piece of pretty paper on the back just because I didn't want them peeling it. And, you know. So then I had this, and we put the pieces on that so that it would kind of stay in the car a little bit. We put the pieces on like that. And then this went right inside the envelope. And the gingerbread was on the front. Well, back then it was a coloring book page. And then so I would put this inside the envelope with the pieces on. And then this one was glued to the front so that they could take it. You know, I did a carpooling too back then. So I had to keep the kids entertained in the vehicle while we were going. Because let me tell you, some of them weren't happy when we had to go pick up kids. And so I had made lots of different things. I've already, I think, showed a couple. But I've made lots of different things that we took in the car. Little things. So I had, someday I'm going to make a busy book too. I'm going to try to make it out of, I made it out of fabric years ago. I'm going to try to make it out of paper and stuff. We're going to see how that goes. So glue this down on the front of your envelope. Get the size envelope that you need. I mean, this is 8x10, so whatever you can find, you know. And then take another piece of, you might not need this big of a sheet, and put all your pieces on. And if you're doing a coloring book, they can help you color your pages. And then you can go ahead and put them on the magnet sheets. And then they have their colored pages. So they can help that way by putting on the, I'm just decorating as we go, and putting on their creations. So then it's like, they got to help make it. Let me just move this off to the side. They got to help make it. Here we can put some, how about we put some holly on his little hat? You know, and we got all the stars. So there's a lot you can do if you just go through your coloring books. Don't think you have to rush out and buy one of these books from Dollar Tree, even though I think they were $1.50 for their books. I can't remember if they're $1.25, $1.50, what they were, but either way, just find yourself a coloring book. You can make your own eyes and nose and, you know, other stuff. You can take regular stickers, like you can, you know, Dollar Tree has stickers, so you can use just regular stickers to, you know, make, I don't have any down here, but, you know, I have plenty of sticker sheets all around. You can take different coloring books, combine your coloring books and stuff. And it doesn't, like I said, does not have to be Christmas. Just grab out, you know, a book and what their favorite book is and make a little magnetic sheet, you know. Like I said, put this on the door and then they can, you know, your door, refrigerator, whatever you have that's magnetic. And they can play. It didn't cost that much. I think, I don't remember what the sheet was of the magnets, but I only used one full sheet for, you know, and you might not even have to use a full sheet. And then I used not even a full sheet, you can see, for all the bits and pieces. I had a bunch of scraps that I used inside that pack. So just package it up like that. You don't even have to use the magnet sheet to package it up. You can just throw the pieces inside the envelope. I just figure it makes it a little easier when they pulled it out, and then they can put it on the seat by them and then play that way. So, all right, guys, I hope you kind of enjoyed this little one. You know, seeing inside of Jean's brain all the time. And as always, you know, my brain will be back. See you guys in the next one. Bye, everyone.